All right, everyone. It's your boy Fernie here, back with another new news of the day, this time for June the 10th. So let's go ahead and let's showcase some various articles that I found online for today from the Google News website. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start that here. I'll just give my own brief thoughts and opinions on each one. Let me know what you guys and gals think. So, one moment, please. That should be loading right now. Oh, it looks like my dinner is cooking along well. That beeping you might hear in the background. All right. So this is from Las Vegas, 8newsnow.com. And it says here, high-speed train project sees time extensions on permits for Las Vegas station. This is the big one involving an apparent joining of California and Las Vegas through a high-speed train project. Obviously, it's going to be really, really well for those people in California. I wish there was something else like that across other parts of the U.S. But it says here, Brightline West is requesting a third extension on permits for its Las Vegas train station. Construction is on time. It looks like it'll... And it says here, renderings of the station have been released previously. What else? Oh, it looks like that's the render itself. So if you're wondering how it'll look like in real life, essentially that's what it'll look like in Las Vegas. So that's all the parking that's going to be there, huh? There's bound to be more parking, no? Because if this train is going to be running supposedly nonstop, but if it runs for even a longer amount of hours in Las Vegas, there's going to be a large amount of people that are going to be parked there, no? That's the actual map itself. So it looks like it'll start in Rancho Cucamonga or Los Angeles Union Station. Los Angeles Union Station. That's where it'll start, and then it'll go to Rancho Cucamonga, Victor Valley, and then travel to Las Vegas. So the I-15. Recent reports have indicated officials no longer expect to begin service by the time the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles begin. Uh-oh. Little warning sign that it's probably going to be longer than that, which is always the case when it comes to construction. All right, so those of you planning on maybe joining and jumping on that train on the 2028 time frame, looks like you might have to wait a little bit longer. This one, again, also in Las Vegas. This is from LasVegasMagazine.com. It features Gordon Ramsay Burger, which is found there at the Flamingo. I think this was the newly opened one, no? Gordon Ramsay's got like a bunch of restaurants in Las Vegas. I've only been to one, which is the Fish and Chips. I wasn't too much of a fan of the chicken. Maybe it's because that's how it's cooked there overseas, no? It was really, really loaded in grease, like so much oil. The batter itself was loaded in oil too. But again, that could be just how it's cooked. Nothing beats showing down a delicious burger, especially after catching rays at the pool. Gordon Ramsay Burger surely has something satisfying for any occasion. They say you can try the Benedict Burger, the Full English Breakfast Burger, the Cluck Yeah GFC Sandwich, fried chicken, pickled onions, and so on. Not really my thing. If you're a vegan, they've got the Viva Vegan Burger. Doesn't show anything about like appetizers. What does it have? 99 Flake Shake. And also, it looks like dessert, a toffee pudding, a sticky toffee waffle. So interesting. So it looks like this are a select set of paragraphs showcasing the menu from it. There's probably a little bit more on the menu itself, but that's the actual Gordon Ramsay burger. There's the burger itself. Egg on a burger. I don't know about that. I'm a simple kind of guy. For me, it's just pretty much the meat, maybe some bacon, and then ketchup only. And that's it. Nothing else really. But if you like all that other stuff, by all means. Next one is a travel article, travel advisory article. This is from Gizmodo. It says TSA says passengers without real ID should get to the airport now 3 hours early. So I had talked about some previous articles in the past. I don't recall them mentioning anything about the timeline if you don't have the real ID. So now it looks like this is talking about it. Starting May 7th, anyone traveling on a domestic flight inside the U.S. will be required to show a real ID compliant form of identification. Passengers who present a state-issued ID that is not real ID and do not have another acceptable alternative, like a passport, can expect to face delays. If you do not have an acceptable ID, we strongly suggest they arrive at the airport 3 hours prior to their departure time. These are the acceptable IDs. Okay. So, state-issued driver's license, yeah. U.S. passport card, DHS Trusted Traveler Card, U.S. Department of Defense ID, Permanent Resident Card, Border Crossing Card, any acceptable photo ID from a tribal nation, Indian tribe, wow. Foreign government issued passport, Canadian provincial driver's license, and so on. So you still have a good number of IDs to work with if you don't happen to have the star, the real ID. That's how it looks like too. Driver's licenses are issued by the state, but real ID technical standards are the same across the country. Oh, so that's how they're verified. How about that? All right, so just a travel advisory notice. If you don't have any of those long list of IDs already, that's going to be tough for you. Then now you have to essentially be there 3 hours early. Just as a good force of habit, I'm there usually around 3 hours early at an airport anyways. You never know that something could happen, and that means that you have to be prepared if you don't want to miss a flight. Just force of habit. I fly very little, but still, I don't take chances on missing a flight. So this one is from the world of books. Prominent author Frederick Forsyth, author of Day of the Jackal, dies at 86. Day of the Jackal. I don't know if you've ever read that particular story, but that is an amazing, amazing thriller. It was one of the earliest books I read. I think it was in high school, maybe. And then I listened to the audiobook a little bit later, and wow, the full unabridged audiobook is something else. You definitely have to check that out. I think that was his first novel too. Frederick Forsyth, internationally acclaimed British author, producing thrillers such as Day of the Jackal, Disavow Dogs of War, and Fourth Protocol. He died on Monday. He was 86. Wow. He saw his share of daring do as a pilot in the Royal Air Force. Was one of the most influential authors of his genre. He weaved topical subject matter and political machinations with edge of your seat action. It was true. The book Day of the Jackal almost reads like a real life history book, like down to the detail of locations and also what people are wearing and how their actions are and so on. It almost reads like a documentary. Forsyth hit it big right out of the gate in 1971 with Day of the Jackal, and yeah, he did create one of the most memorable characters ever, the English assassin known only as the Jackal. Really good book. Again, I highly recommend it in case you haven't seen it. I've seen the both films too. The original film, I think that was done in the 70s, and oh, there it is, 1973, Universal Pictures adaptation, directed by Fred Zimmerman, hit the big screen. That was a good movie. And then I've seen also the remake, The Jackal, with Richard Gere and Bruce Willis. I thought that was pretty good too. I didn't have any problems with it. It's different, but I thought that it had a pretty good story to it, like a pretty good acting as well. But yeah, just wanted to provide that bit of news. in the world of authors. And then finally, the last bit of news here from the world of Hollywood. Oh, never mind. It doesn't let me. Boo. Well, what it was saying was that The Incredibles 3 now has a director. So it looks like that movie is going forward. The pacing on the franchise is amazing. Like, it seems like each movie has a good number of years in between each. It just goes to show that there is no rush on these films. Whatever's being done with them is taking their time. They're finding the right materials, getting the story right, and then moving forward. The first one was absolutely phenomenal. I've seen the second one, but honestly I can't remember too much about it. It just didn't stand out too much to me. Maybe the part 3 will be something different, but either way, just wanted to share this. So if you're a fan of the Incredibles franchise, it looks like part 3 has found its director and it's moving forward. And that's it. Let's go ahead and let's stop that here. Let me know what you guys and gals think about this bit of news. Post it in the comments. All right, everyone. Thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.